Hey, and welcome back to Precious Time. Is that a heron flying by? Yeah, that's crazy. This is David, and I want to take you back to where it all began for me in the watch world, and that was with this guy here, which, if you think it looks old, that's because it's a fossil. I got this watch in 1994, and I've held on to it since then. It is, I guess, my first real watch. I mean, I remember as a kid I had a Mickey Mouse mechanical watch. I was born in '69, so it wasn't unusual for kids to have mechanical watches then because quartz had just been invented. And so later on, quartz watches were just what everybody had. I had a calculator watch in junior high. I may have had just a couple of plain dial, three-hand watches through college and everything. And I got to San Diego in 1994 and really got into the boogie boarding scene and riding my bike with my boogie board backpack and just spending the day at the beach. And I worked nights in television, so sometimes I'd have to really keep an eye on the clock while I was out in the water. Got a good sneeze. And I went to probably the Fashion Valley Mall in San Diego in Mission Valley, and I was looking at watches, and it was a stretch for me having no money at all, but for over $100 I saw this really cool, complicated looking watch, and I didn't know much about what was going on. I didn't know what was going on with the bezel. I didn't know what was going on with the complications on it, but I knew it looked cool. It had a really puffy black strap. I'm on like my 5th strap on this one, and I put it on. I loved it. I wore it boogie boarding all the time. I figured out why you don't wear a leather strap in the ocean, because it rotted after the first year, I guess. But I used the I'm sorry to say so much. I used the chronograph to time segments in the newscasts I was doing at the time, the weather and sports. And we used to do, this is going to sound crazy, long time ago, but everything was on tape back then. And VOSATs, which is where you're voicing over and then there's a sound on tape, it was easier with tapes to do 20 seconds of video and then have a sound bite and then more video, as opposed to a video that just has video, another tape that has sound, and trailing video. And so you would have to time, there's 20 seconds of video here, so I would use it for that too. And I got to figure out how I'm gonna try to set up the watch here because I'm actually on a boat right now. I figured out how the bezel works by myself, which I was really impressed with. But you point the arrow on here on the minute hand and it tells you how many minutes have gone by. And I thought, well, wow, this one watch has 2 different ways of telling you how much time has gone by outside of the actual time of day. That's really handy and cool. Why doesn't everyone have one of these? And I looked around and no one really had a chronograph or watch or cared about timepieces like that. I thought it was really cool. I still have it. It's not worth anything. I could never sell it and make more than $5 off it, if I even made that. But I noticed last night that the lume still completely works. You'll turn off the lights and go to bed and your watch is still glowing like crazy. The stopwatch works great. It doesn't have a date. I always thought that drove me nuts. That doesn't have a date. And that's before I knew how many complications were possible. I try to collect different watches that do different things, and I don't know if I will ever find an affordable tourbillon. I don't know if I'll ever find an affordable I don't know why my mind is going to a blank right now. Chiming, you know what I mean, minute repeater. And what's the third complication that I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford? Mechanical chronograph. All the chronographs I have are quartz. So anyway, I'll keep collecting them. I'll keep showing you what I've got. The strap on this thing, you're not going to believe it, but it actually came from Disney. I got a Pirates of the Caribbean watch. I've always been totally into the water and boating. I used to really be into sailboating and had a pretty nice big boat, and I've kind of downsized with the family. but I go out by myself once in a while. But this watch came with the Pirates of the Caribbean. The strap came with the Pirates of the Caribbean watch, and like you had a little cover in the front with a skull. You open it and you can see the time, and it's like got a blood red second hand. But the dial was too small for this strap, and I thought this strap will actually go well with its brass, kind of rivets. With this one here, again, this is like the 5th strap that I've had on this watch. I put a smaller strap on the Pirate one and gave it to my son. So we still have the Pirate watch. Maybe I'll show it to you someday. But that's precious time for today. And I know you don't get a great view of this in this kind of lighting, I'm sorry, but here it is out in the actual world. Maybe you can see the second hand going. You can see that it has a black dial, so it made sense that it had a black strap, although it has kind of golden colored markings, between the minutes on the bezel. And so that makes the brass work too. So I don't know, kind of cool. Today I'm just chilling out here because it is gorgeous, and I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time on Precious Time.